What's going on, folks? I hope you are well. Hope all is well with you. Thank you so much for joining TLP Sports Club. This is TLP Live. I appreciate you joining me today. I come before you to give you some updates, some information. It's a pretty good show today. Shots fired at Coach Prime from his Big 12 Media Day conference, press conference, all of that. And then I got a question. What is this video that I'm seeing out here, or I'm hearing chatters about Jimmy, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, mandating that Shador starts in week 1? Is AI taking over? I don't know what's real anymore. Do you know what's real out there? If you've heard anything, let me know. I'm trying to keep my eyes and my ears on the pivot, keep it to the ground and try to give you some information, but I have heard nothing. And then all of a sudden, on my algorithm, I'm getting videos of people talking about Deion Sanders is going to start week 1, and this is a mandate by the Cleveland Browns owner. You know what? We have a lot to talk about. The Big 12 Media Day is happening, if it hasn't finished yet. You feel me? Like, usually it's like supposed to be like a day or two. Now it's like a whole week or whatever. It's happening. Coach Prime's interview, Coach Prime's conference, his press conference, and then them boys at Fox Sports Radio, they're shooting some shots at Coach Prime. We're going to dig into all of that. But my friends, my countrymen, Trump asking our president of the Liberia where he learned how to speak English. We ain't going to talk about that. We'll keep it all sports. Before we do sports, check me out. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. So what up, man? Donald Trump talking about my man. Hey, my man, where you learn English from? Y'all understood that? This guy actually asked the president of Liberia, where did he learn how to speak English? That was interesting. I was like, Liberia speaks English. It's a little broken if you go a little deeper, but it's English, okay? Stop playing with us. Anyway, I got a good show for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. These random pop-ups, I know y'all not used to that. Me just popping up out of nowhere. I promise you, it's the summer that's summering. The summer is summering. So I got a lot of things going on. New business ventures. This is like my pre-talk. If you're watching this post live, I got to kind of talk a little bit to get it warmed up so that I can allow some more people to come into the class or come into the class. I'm your teacher, Harry B. But anyways, all right, I'm just giving a little talk in the beginning so I can give people time to come into the live. If you're watching this post live, maybe you scroll around just a little bit to kind of see where the conversation gets a little better. You feel me? But I can't just jump right into the show. I hope you understand, okay? This is what happens when you go live. But yeah, man, so it's been a lot going on, all of this bouncing around type of stuff. The summer is summering. I'm going to get a little bit more, I would say, consistent, meaning coming live and dropping more content when football is almost here. You feel me? In like the dry season. I mean, it's not much to talk about, even though now we got the Big 12 Media Days happening. So that means once we get the Media Day happening, that means that the time is getting a little closer where we're going to have a lot more football content to talk about. And then hopefully I'll be able to drop some other content that'll kind of help things to go along. But again, like I told y'all, if I ain't got nothing to talk about, I'm just going to deal with my other businesses. And I got some other businesses that I'm planning on dropping, and I'm pretty excited. If you can see my chubby cheekbones lighting up, I got some things in the works that's about to be real legit. You feel me? Yeah, so there's a lot going on in this YouTube universe. And I got this feeling that I'm about to be up in the forefront real soon with some stuff that I'm working on, with some stuff that's in the works. You feel me? So I got to calm down. Give me a second so I can calm down so that I can do this show. All right? All right. So your boys over there, Rob Parker says Deion Sanders is a hypocrite for wanting a cap in college sports. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. Then I found another video, like I told you in the beginning of the show. Some people saying that Shedeur Sanders is going to be starting in week number 1. I don't know where that's coming from, but I don't know if it has any kind of validity to it. I'll talk a little bit about that. The Big 12 has this weird thing going on. I don't know if it's weird or not, or it's just a thing. But the Big 12, again, is ranking the different teams, the 16 teams in the Big 12. Colorado is falling just right about either number 10, depending on who's ranking, or way below number 10. If you do not remember, just last year, you don't even have to go that far. I'm not sending you into 1989, 1990 when Colorado was smash mouth football. I'm just saying, just page back 1 year ago, Colorado, and when they were ranking the Big 12, Colorado was smack in the middle, right? And all the other teams, like the team number 1, 2, 4, or 5, the rankings were flipped upside down because number 1 was ranked number 16th, and then it kind of trickled down. Once again, they're doing the same thing. The Big 12 is, like, I would say, the most competitive conference in college football. Before you start to throw tomatoes and stones, hear me out, okay? I've been here long enough now, and I understand how this stuff works. So let me explain what I mean by being the most competitive conference in college football. This is what I mean. Competitive is not necessarily the best, right? Because when your ears prick up and you hear certain things, you'll go SEC, Big 10, but then you start you start doing that thing that college football fans do. But hear me what I'm trying to tell you. The Big 12 is one, if not the, is one of the most, I would say it is the most competitive conference in college football because the teams are pretty even. There is no runaway team, right? There is no 1 or 2 teams that are so vastly, so much better than the next team that you just, like, every year you're going to say, well, we already know they got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go into other conferences, like, let's take the SEC, Southeastern Conference, for example. Every year, you know the teams. You can pretty much close your eyes with one finger, right? You can close your eyes with one finger and say, okay, it's going to be Alabama, Georgia, Texas. I mean, you can literally just say, okay, you know what? I kind of can pick these teams. And that's why sometimes I call the analysts or the commentators for the Big 12, I'll be like, for the SEC, I'm like, y'all some lazy folks. Y'all ain't got to do no work. Because every year, you know the blue bloods in the SEC are going to pretty much be the same. You know how they recruit. You know who they're getting. And then their talent fall off ain't that much. It's the other conferences that have such a big talent fall off. Like Colorado. If you take Colorado, you take away the Heisman, the best quarterback in the Big 12. You take those away, who you got left, right? Now you got Colorado that has to kind of scramble and try to put the pieces together, and you will have Coach Prime saying stuff like, "Yeah, we don't have the individual talent like we had last year, but we do have an overall better team." So you feel me? So that's what I mean by the Big 12 being the most competitive college football conference there is in college football, because the teams are so equal. On any given Saturday, when a Big 12 team, when they start getting into actual conference play, you know that you're going to be watching really good football. It ain't going to be that boring stuff where Georgia's like, beating somebody very badly, and you're sitting back like, all right, let me just go get some drink, come back, and then it's already over. It's not that, right? There is no runaway teams in the Big 12. So the people that do the rankings and the CBS and all the big guys, I feel like I don't trust the big guys when they do rankings, to tell you the truth. I don't really trust them because it feels like they're only taking what happened last year and they're kind of trying to force it down our, I don't want to say the word, I don't want to say the rest because y'all going to say pause. Anyways, let me not go too far. Let me just say what up to all my folks that are in the chat so far. Dallas is in the building. Todd Smith, what up with you? Hope all is well. DC Carson music. I hope that music is. I hope that music is sounding real good. DC Carson, what up? ICH Incorporated, what up with you? I hope all is well. What's going on, DC Carson music? I hope all is okay. That's Todd Smith saying DC, what up? So yeah, man. I do have some rankings that I want to talk about the Big 12, how they're ranking the teams, and then some of the things that came out of the Big 12. Like I told you, when I come live here, I want to give you something to hold on to. So now, if you're watching post live, you know what I'm saying, and you've gotten to this point, this is where I would say it starts to get real good, because now I feel like there's a few more folks here, and I can finally go ahead and start sharing some things, because if nobody's here and you start sharing, like, do you share? Like, when you're in the forest, or if you're not in the forest and the tree drops, do you hear it? Does it make a sound? I'm ready to go. Okay. Let's go. Before I go, we have to let you know how this show works, guys. On your screen, you will see jointlplive@gmail.com. You will also see my Cash App. I should start with that. You got to secure the bag before you do anything else. You feel me? The Cash App is right there. That's $ TLP Sports Club, $ TLP Sports Club. And I got to say, I didn't know one of my best friends from high school, when I first got to the United States, a Liberian guy that I found that was one of my best friends. I didn't know he watched the show. So my guy Lawrence, if you watching, yo, salute to my guy Lawrence, yo. He watches the show. He was like, yeah, Harry, then the B means billion. I finally got in contact with my homie after years of wondering what's going on with my homie. So he said, yo, I watch your show on YouTube. I was like, what? He said, yeah, man, and I messaged you, and you didn't hit me back, bro. I was like, you got to be kidding me. My guy Lawrence hit me up. Yo, all is well with the world. You feel me? My friends are coming back. The rooster's coming home. The crow, whatever that means. Anyways, on the screen right there. Join TLPlive@gmail.com. If you want to come on this panel, you want to come and do this show with me, talk about football. Come on, man. I ain't doing this by myself today, okay? Stop playing with me. Get up for work if you have to. Where are all my retirees? All right, man. I'm laughing too much. Let me stop. My producer said, you got to stop laughing so much, Harry B. You got to be serious. I said, well, I think the laughing part is part of my personality. So if I get rid of that and I start being like an angry black man or an angry African, you ever seen an angry African? I think we're worse than an angry black man, okay? It's like double anger, because we're black and we're African. But again, not all Africans are black. Okay, whatever. I think we're ready to go. JV Praise, what up? Who you praising? The Lord Jesus Christ. Join TLPlive@gmail.com. Y'all ready to go, man? Let's go. Let me take that stuff off the screens because I got to share some information. All right, so I'm going to start with Rob Parker saying that Deion Sanders is a hypocrite. Let's take a listen, and then we'll analyze it. We'll go from there. But I want you to come on here so we can talk on this show today. I don't want to do this on my own. And guess what? I know this is bad, but I got to be out by 12. All right, and I started late, so I'm also sorry that I'm starting late, because I hate to cheat the fans for what they came for. But it's all good. Life is lifing. Summer's summering. You feel me? And I got a lot of business happening. God is good, man. Look, if you ain't got God, you better get some God. What? Let me tell you a quick story before I get started, before I go into this show. A quick story. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. A series of things was just happening. Like, my wife was just getting all these reminders. She would say something, and then when she says something, whatever she says reminds her of something that she has to do, and things were just popping up. So I said, you and God are having a connection. Like, God is really, like, he's doing something. I said, you better ask God, because he's really doing something. And it just kept happening. It's like, I don't know if it was like solar eclipse. If you are one of those people who deal with astrology signs or whatever, it was just a group of things were just happening. And we're Christians, so I'm not going to associate that with some type of, astrology or things, the stars lining up or nothing like that. I ain't going to do that. I'm going to say God is talking. I said, Keisha, ask God for everything. While he's here, he's paying attention, asking for everything. I don't know if she did or not, but I did. Because it's crazy, because I'm about to get into the show, I promise. I'm just telling you, let me get this story out. All right. So I'm about to go to sleep. I got an early morning start, okay? And before I was going to put my phone, usually I'll play chess on my phone and try to lower myself to sleep. I gotta go to sleep real early. So I go to my alarm clock, something distracts me, and I leave my alarm, right? Then when it's time, when I finally get drowsy and I'm trying to fall asleep now, I put my phone down and I'm about to go to sleep. And then I hear in my spirit, click on your alarm. Go back to your alarm. You didn't put it on. I'm like, I remember going through the alarm. Of course I put my alarm on. No, go back to your alarm and just click it. Reluctantly, I click on the alarm. And I'm like, this is useless. I scroll through the alarms looking for the time that I chose. There is no time. I literally have chosen no time. So this was a confirmation for it. Keep in mind, the same day where Keisha was getting all of these godly reminders, and I'm like, oh, God is here. He's talking. I started asking for everything. I said, oh no. I remember when I told Keisha, I said, God is talking. You better ask for stuff. If he's right there, you better ask for something. So I started asking for everything. I'm telling you, health, business, money. I asked for as much. At first, I was a little reluctant because I was like, should I be modest? Then I thought about how big God is, the universe, and all of that. He gave Deion Sanders all these gifts. All his kids are blessed. I was like, wait a minute. This is God we're talking about. I ain't got to be modest. I started asking for everything. I said, God, give me everything. Oh, okay. That's my story. Peter Investor, what up with you, man? Hope all is well. So yeah, man, when God is moving and you know he's there, man, you better ask for anything you can ask for, okay? Your mom to be healed, everybody to be healed in your family, for your sisters and brothers to come to Christ, everything. When God is moving, you better listen. I knew I was like, when that alarm thing happened, I was for sure I had turned my alarm on. When I went back to that alarm and there was nothing chosen, I was like, oh no, I know for a fact God is on us today. So many reminders all day. And I was like, oh no, God is here. Let me start asking for stuff. And I'll tell you, that asking for stuff, stuff started happening the next day. Keisha was like giving testimony. I was like, uh-oh. And some business about to start happening too. Ooh, boy. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, man, God is good. Yeah, Peter Investor, Liberia is in the news. Oh, RCS said we are all gods. Well, I am my God. Okay, we are minor gods or lowercase gods. Okay, because God dwells in us. But I'm saying my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I don't know who yours is. I have one over me because I have no idea what's going on. I can't control nothing. He controls it. That's just how I live my life. I ain't judging you. I'm just saying how I live my life. Okay? I need a savior. I'm sorry, but if you knew what kind of mess I was, you would be like, oh yeah, Harry B, you need a savior for sure. So anyway, praise God. Amen. Wouldn't he do it? Isn't that what you're saying in the U.S. right now? But yeah, Peter Investor, we're in the news because Trump said Trump don't know that Liberians speak English. He don't know that. And he asking the Liberian president, how did he learn so much? Why he sounds so clear, and why can he speak so soundly? I was like, why couldn't I disrespect my look? My brothers and sisters sent me that stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I was near my studio so I can jump on my other channel and light this dude up. But I was like, nah, it's okay. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of the stories. We got enough people. Let's go. Lord have mercy. All right, so let's remember to remove the first share, the intro, and now we're gonna share the Rob Parker stuff. So let's go. Let's hear what Rob Parker has to say. All right, Rob, what you talking about, boy? What you talking about?
Deion Sanders.
I don't want to call a black man boy, but you know, my bad.
And some comments that I've got my panties in a bunch. Can I say that?
Yes, you can, and that's because early.
Wait a minute. No, you can't say that because you don't. Do you wear panties? I don't think men. Do black Americans wear panties? What do y'all wear? We wear briefs and stuff. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm live, babe. What's up? You good? Okay. That was Keisha calling me. She got some stuff to handle, but she had to call me. Anyway, she's good. All right. I don't know about y'all Americans, but we don't wear panties, okay? He said, can I say that? No, you can't. I don't think you're supposed to say that. I've been here long enough, since 1989, and all of hip-hop, all the comedians on even the daggone Cosby Show, they said that y'all got a strict standard of black men. Y'all not supposed to wear panties. So you having your panties caught up in a bunch, remember when we used to say that's gay? We can't say that no more. I think I just did.
Earlier today was the day one, or it might have been day two, I'm confused, of the Big 12 media days, because it's like a week-long event nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the big...
By the way, YouTube, I mean, if you don't know, this is a reaction video. I'm just reacting to this. This is fair use. So, yeah, that part.
Big talking point, not just for the Big 12, but across college football is, what are we going to do with NIL? What are we going to do with the transfer portal? It's dominating the conversation, probably even more so than the actual football itself or even the college football playoff. Well, Colorado head football coach Deion Sanders has a plan that he thinks would fix this whole situation. Take a listen.
All you have to do is look at the playoffs and see what those teams spent. And you understand darn near why they're in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to compete with somebody who's giving $25-30 million to a darn freshman class. We're not complaining because all these coaches up here can coach their butts off and give them the right opportunity with the right players and the play here and there, you'll be there. But it's what's going on right now don't make sense. And we want to say stuff, but we're trying to be professional. But you're going to see the same teams darn near at the end and with somebody who sneaks up in there. But the team that pays the most is going to be there in the end.
All right, let's hold on.
So last night he used him. Honestly, nothing better than when a guy breaks this out.
I seriously can't stop thinking about him.
Deion Sanders, hello, is this on? So you're calling for a cap, okay? Uh-huh. Shame on Deion Sanders for being a hypocrite. Shame on you. Did you call for a cap when the coaches were making $20 million, $18 million? Where was the coaches' cap? Is that fair that Nick Saban was making $1 gazillion off the kids' back? Where was that cap, Deion? How come you didn't call for this when your kids were in college? Shador.
Let me Kanye this real quick. Mr. Parker, I'm going to let you finish, but can I just say that this is not an old video, right? Bandwagon Brown said he's late. No. I had the little talk. This is the real show. This is where the show really starts. But don't we have the House? Didn't the House already pass a solution and I think that when was this uploaded? This is recent. Don't we already have a cap? Does he not know that already? And that's a thing already. So Deion Sanders calling for a cap and he's calling him a hypocrite. I don't know. I ain't saying, I'm not trying to defend Deion at this point. I'm just saying, like, don't we already have a $20 million cap? Didn't we do a couple of shows where we talked about the cap already? So why when you hear Deion say, hey, we see what's going on when you're giving so much money to a freshman class, X, Y, and Z, why are you strictly initially just going straight to the cap? I don't understand what he heard, but I'm going to let him finish, but I don't think, I feel like he's not reacting to what Prime said. Because if you listen to what Prime said, I don't think Prime was kind of saying, don't pay the players or cap how much they're going to get paid. I think he was mostly talking about a level playing field, right? Like, he ain't saying don't pay the players. I think it was more of a level playing field, but let's go ahead and let them get it off. You know, pause. This pause situation is killing me. Daggone Americans, you're always trying to remind people of being gay.
Why didn't Shador give the money back and say, you know what, I'm just playing for the hell of it. My dad's a former NFL player. We got loot. I don't need money. I'm here to play football. Did Shador take the money?
Must be the money.
Okay. This is ludicrous. The only people you want to punish are the players, the actual product. Deion, without the players, you can't coach. You can't sell tickets. And I'm talking about the players as a whole. All people ever do. And his evidence, who were the reporters sitting there and allowing him to give the evidence that look at the teams who spent the most money. They all in a... Have the teams changed? Has Ohio State all of a sudden become this team that gets there every year? Are you kidding me? They used to pay the kids under the table. Now you got to put the money on the table. It's the same freaking teams.
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought he was going to add more to it to give me more of an understanding of why is he yelling and why is he screaming? Are you kidding me? Like, y'all hear the thing correctly? Because when I assess it, okay, like I said, I'm not trying to defend Prime. I know that's what I do here on this channel, but in this instance, I'm trying to be neutral. I'm trying to understand and have a conversation. So if I'm the guy with the hat on sitting next to my guy, Rob, I'm be like, I don't know if he's, like sometimes when you hear stuff and it's happening live, your recollection or the way that you react to it is going to be a little different than when you take time and really let everything sit in. But I didn't hear Prime say, let's not pay these students. I think Prime was one of those proponents of saying, let's pay the students. Let's get these kids money. Like, if you know Prime and everything he does, it's all about making sure that there's equality. Like, putting the names on the students, their names on their jerseys, putting their Twitter handles and their social media handles on their jerseys. He's doing all of that so that the kids can get money. So I don't think he's against NIL, and that's not what I heard him saying. I heard him saying, if we look at the playoffs and we see who's up there, and then we do a little bit of a calculation on how much they paid for all of those players, it's an indicator of who you're going to see. If we don't change something, if something doesn't change soon, you're going to see those same people, those same organizations repeat, just like back in the day. So let's get this NIL situation under control. Let's put some type of regulation in place so that some of us can keep some of these players that are leaving, because of poaching, getting money, like somebody can come out with a bigger bag. Let's do contracts. Let's do something where these kids can just keep jumping for the money. Because if it was you and your kid was in, your kid was at one of these universities and somebody came and said, I'll offer you $2 million more so you can come on over here. I would, if I got that call and my son was like, Pops, they're offering me $2 million to leave and go to Auburn. I'll be like, so I said, are you calling from Auburn or are you still at where you were, stupid? Like, that's how it'll be. Like, that's a no-brainer. I'm out of here. There is no loyalty to no programs because the coaches have no loyalty to the program. The coaches are always carouseling. They're always jumping. So I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you go ahead and stay. There is no loyalty anymore. There's no loyalty. Forget about loyalty. Okay? Loyal to the program, you get hurt, you out of there. You do anything dumb that kids do, you out of there. All right? They have their standards, you have your standard. And your standard got to be part of the money. Like, now you're getting paid. Somebody offered me $2 million more than the school that I'm currently at is paying me. I don't know about you, but I'll be packed while they're on the phone. As soon as they hang up the phone, I'm at their door with my hand open and saying, where's the money? I'm here. It's $2 million. You know how much it takes to get them in. How much are parents getting paid on their regular jobs, bruh? You know what I'm saying? Like, some people are barely clearing $28,000 a year. If you are like, you just getting out of college, depending on what your major is, you're barely clearing $30,000 to get started. Unless you're in one of these high-paying tech jobs, you get out of school, you got all these heavy school student loans, and you're barely clearing $30,000. I know this from experience, okay? So somebody offers my child $2 million to go play at a different school. Liberian man said, my man, Piquet, you already left, right? You gone, right? But Piquet, you run. Hurry up before they change their mind. For a fact. Love and Liberty, what up with you? Hope all is well, homie. It's been a minute. Football is almost here again, man. Hey, if you're traveling this year, man, we got to talk. You feel me? When you get to those stadiums, I need a feed from you, okay? All right, Love and Liberty. Salute, my guy. Hope all is well. And thank you for your service. Anyway, so yeah, man, I don't know. Let's listen to a little bit more because if the other guy has something to say, but Rob is yelling. He's like, he's out of pocket. He ain't really answering. He ain't really talking about what Prime said. He just, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where you wanted to get it off and nobody gave you the opportunity. And then you get to the family barbecue, and then as soon as the first thing somebody says, you just start speaking. It's like, I'm just speaking. And the person is standing there like, what are you talking about? Like, what? That's not what I said, but okay.
Give me the name, Deion. Tell me who paid a lot of money and got to the college football playoffs who wouldn't have got there without the money. He couldn't name you one because it's the same players. Hypocrisy. Take advantage of the students, of the kids, of the players. You know why? Because they're not represented. There's no agent or body to protect them. Always blame the kids. Deion, how dare you? You came up to bat once as a Yankee. You know what he did? He made the $sign in the batter's box.
What is this guy talking
Colin
about?
Fisk was the catcher of the White Sox, took exception to it. You remember? It was about the money, wasn't it? This is a
Yo, let your partner speak, because Rob, I don't know what you're talking about. Rob, you all over the place. What are you talking about? Prom didn't say anything about kids not getting paid, bruh. What?
a fair market system, this country. You know how much you're worth, Deion? You're worth what someone's willing to pay you. Period. And if you don't want to pay the kids the money, don't pay them, Deion. Go out and do a grassroots and say, I'm not giving out any NIL money. I'm going to
Coach that, but
all right, so we're going to go back I'm just gonna just for my sanity's sake. Hey, Love and Liberty, we miss you too, brother. Hope all is well, man, wherever you are. Just for my sanity's sake, and for people that just joined the chat or just joined the live, I just want to I'm gonna play what Coach Prime said that Rob Parker is reacting to, and I'm reacting to his reaction, right? Let me just play that again, because I'm lost. I'm lost. In case maybe I misheard what Prime said. Maybe he's in a different spirit, because spirits are real, and depending on what spirit you're in, you can react to something that's, you can react to it based on the kind of spirit you're in. Like, you can walk into a room that's all happy, and you came out of a meeting and it was funky and your bad spirit, and you just changed the whole dynamic of that meeting. But so let me see. Maybe Rob was in a different spirit. Maybe something happened to him. But let me pay attention. Let me just listen to it one more time, you and me, and y'all tell me if I missed it.
With somebody who's all you have to do is look at
Coach Deion Sanders has a plan that he thinks would fix this whole situation. Take a listen.
All you have to do is look at the playoffs and see what those teams spent. And you understand darn near why they're in the playoffs. It's kind of hard to compete with somebody who's giving $25, $30 million to a darn freshman class. We're not complaining because all these coaches up here.
All right, so let's take it in bits and pieces. It's easy to see while they're there, right? I mean, you can't really compete if your freshman class, he didn't say the entire line or your entire team. He said your freshman class is getting $20 to $30 million. I mean, we know that Ohio State is the first NIL or the first transfer portal NIL champion. All right, we know that. I mean, it was not hard to determine that, to understand that that's Ohio State is the very first NIL champion holder. But that's okay. So that's the first part he said. What else is Coach Prime saying?
Could coach their butts off and give them the right opportunity with the right players and the play here and there, you'll be there. But it's what's going on right now don't make sense. Right players in the play here in the darn freshman class. We're not complaining because all these coaches up here could coach their butts off and give them the right opportunity with the right players and the play here and there, you'll be there.
Right there. You see what I'm saying? He's making a variation. He's pivoting and he's saying, well, I mean, I do understand. I'm not trying to complain. I know that if you are a good coach and you got the right X's and O's, everything falls in line with you and you get the right players and the right opportunities, you can be right there. You can hop in there. All right. I mean, Arizona State just hopped in there, right? They didn't have everything that all the other teams had, but they got there and they made some noise. I would say they almost won one. They almost stole one. So yeah, so Coach Prime is saying, I understand it. You can get there. But what's happening, it's crazy. If we don't regulate this thing, if we don't bring this under some type of control, get these kids to commit to a specific NIL amount and the school, and they can just be bought back, then it's a mess. We're gonna continue to see the same schools there because they're money holders, they're bank rollers, they're NIL champs. Those people, they love the feel of winning. They love the idea that last year they spent the money and they got the results that they were looking for. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna re-up, right? Like, if you watch The Wire, if you know drug movies, I write a lot of those too. If you know how drugs work on the streets, you gotta re-up. You're running out of product, so they're going to re-up. They're happy that it happened. They're going to re-up. You feel me? So that's what's going to happen. So that means that you're going to see a repeat of the same schools in the playoffs. Just watch this season that we're in, 2025. Watch this season. Look at the teams that were there last year. You'll see if you see a repeat of those teams, you will understand what Coach Prime is saying. Let's keep going.
But it's what's going on right now don't make sense. And we want to say
that's right, Stringer Bell. Yes, I'm telling you. Drop your favorite Wire character, okay? If you said Michael B. Jordan because he's hot right now, then you didn't watch The Wire. Stop playing with me.
Say stuff, but we're trying to be professional. But you're going to see the same teams darn near at the end, and with somebody who sneaks up in there. But the team that pays the most is going to be there in the end.
Deion Sanders.
So yeah, the team that pays the most, and got the biggest bank is going to be in there. So basically, you're buying the chip. I mean, you get the best players. If you go out there and you're spending the amount of money that some of these teams are spending, you're going to be buying the chip. And that's what's happening in college football. It's not hard to realize. If you pay any attention, you can see it happening. If you follow some of the videos that we put out, if you look at some of the lives, if you listen, you will see like, oh, this person just moved. This person was asking for more money. All of a sudden, they're over there at this school, X, Y, Z school. How they get there so fast? Who brought them over? This ain't crazy. This ain't new. So I don't know. Like, but Rob jumped at it wrong. Let me see if his boy says anything. I think his boy starts to talk at a certain point. Let me get to him. All right.
I hate that I can't keep this a secret. I canceled all my food delivery subscriptions and upgraded to Cooking, and it's totally transformed.
And the kids made nothing. I will not go back for that. Ever, ever, ever.
Well, here's the thing. So usually you and I, as Watch the Eye Couple, we differ on a lot of things. A lot of what you just said, I agree with, and I had written down and prepared to talk about. So I'll try to take a couple different lanes with you, because to paraphrase a little bit of what.
And y'all do me a favor, please smash that like button so we can get more people watching this live, guys. Look, when I don't do a video and I only come live, this is my only source of income. This is my only source of video content that I have dropped on the channel. So if I don't get enough views or I don't get enough love on this live and I don't drop another piece of video in a little bit, then it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we did it for nothing. And if you come on, you appreciate what's going on, come on, drop a like on that video so more people can start watching. I appreciate you. Thank you.
What you were just saying, I had already planned to say toothpaste is out the tube. We ain't going back, right? One thing we know about it was.
Okay, so he also missed the essence of what Prime was saying. He missed it. So both of them missed it. How could two black men who are on a Fox radio, Fox is a major network, Fox Radio, how could they both miss it? I'm confused, because if I'm sitting there, even if I'm supposed to be a yes man, right, I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? You know, like Smitty and JB, sometimes Smitty's like, nah, you heard it wrong. I don't know which one is Smitty and which one is JB. I think JB's the white guy that's always yelling and cussing. I think that's him. I don't remember. I don't know. But yeah, Coach JB, he's the guy. Like, you know, they differ a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe his hat is, I don't know. Is it a snapback? Is it a, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it a fitted? Please bring back fitteds, okay? I came to New York. I saw the fitteds. They work for me. I love how fitteds make my head look. Pause. I love the fitteds, okay? And all of a sudden conceded. Jay-Z wore a snapback. And all of a sudden, everything is snapback. I have my issues, okay? Leave me alone.
Money gets rolling, money ain't going back in. So the system is where it is. Now, and to get to why it's not going back is
Rudy Rice said it was a slow day. They get it. They just convo farming. Okay, so that farming thing is going on. That's 2025. You're doing something. You're farming. Except when you're in Trump's, in the Trump era, farming and you're not benefiting much when you start farming. I think that's a bad joke.
Because the NCAA, Rob, they blew their chance to do this 20, 25, 30, 35 years ago when people were really starting to make a fuss about this. Saying, hey, man, this doesn't seem right. You got examples. Hey, man, Fab Five guys, why are y'all penalizing them? Hey, man, Ohio State kids getting tattoos. What's the big deal? They got signed a couple of things and got some tattoos. What's the big deal? And I used to call that identity theft. To me, the NCAA for decades had been participating in identity theft. They stole the identity of players. One of my favorite games growing up, Rob, was Coach K basketball. It was so fun. And you knew exactly who that was. Back then, it would be like the use.
All right, so I don't know if I got to finish this conversation because these two guys, I don't think they got it. And again, please don't get me wrong. I'm trying to listen with a neutral ear if I missed it. So if any of y'all out there that are not Coach Prime fans, did you hear Coach Prime saying don't pay the students, or do you think that he was talking about equal playing field, right? Like regulations so that we can all get to the playoff eventually. You feel me? Like, did you hear that? Let me know, because I know, if you hate Coach Prime, then your views, anything he says is always going to lean in that way. You know what I'm saying? So I would know, like, at least if you didn't hear that, then I'll be like, okay, these guys are full of crap. Like, what are they talking about? I mean, I respect the grind. I respect what they do because they're on a major network, 2 black men, on a radio show. I'm sure people are driving across country. They're driving to Colorado all the way from New York, and they got to listen to something. So they're listening to these 2 guys on iHeartRadio, and I ain't trying to be like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. But I want to just know, like, am I missing something? Did you hear that? Like, whether you're a Coach Prime fan or not, I just want to know if that's what you heard. I didn't hear that. But it is like farming. Like whoever said, oh, it was Rudy Rod that says farming. Yeah, maybe it was convo farming. Maybe I should come on here and become a farmer sometimes, because you get paid for farming. Farmers get paid on YouTube. I'm joking a little bit, but yeah, I think if you farm, like, what is that guy's name? I watched a video yesterday with DC Young Fly, and this guy was interviewing him. He said he's a man of God, he's a black man, but he's always saying that the white man, the great white hope, the white man is better. And he's a black man. And DC gave him that work, and I was like, thank God somebody went on there and knew their assignment. And I got a proposition for y'all. Together, since if y'all are here, I got, like, I don't know how many people are watching, but here's a proposition. We're going to change something. We have to stop blaming the white man for everything. But hear me out, because I'm not like one of those Candace Owens type guys. Let's stop saying the white man. Let's change. DC Young Fly did this with that interview. I forget the guy's name. If y'all saw that interview with that black guy that's always saying the white man, he called, if y'all know, somebody drop his name. But this is what we're going to do as a group, as a community. We know that there is something happening to us, but here's where we get caught up, and then we get deflectors like Officer Parker or Officer whatever. There's a lot of them out there. The Candace Owens people. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'll come back to the sports in a second. But I want us to do this as a community. Let's do this. If we stop saying the white man, because what we're doing is we're putting a label on it. And that's where a lot of the other people are getting it mixed up. They don't understand. But DC Young Fly did this thing greatly on that interview. When the guy was to push back, he would say, oh, so who is it? Who do we call the oppressor? Who's the oppressor? DC Young Fly said, I don't know. But what I do know is something happening to me. I can't explain it, who it is. And I was like, that is genius. And that stopped him in his tracks, because what he was doing, he was also farming to say that we complain too much, to say that we're always blaming the white man. But if we don't say the white man, it works. Stop saying the white man. Y'all got me? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let me bring me closer so y'all can see me for real. How do I get me closer? Oh, I can't get me any closer. Help me help us. This black community, I'm going to help us today. Just give me a few seconds. Let me just get this off. Let me just say this. We know something's happening to us that's not more so. Something happens to everybody, right? Something happens more to us than it happens to the other people, to other groups. But you know what? If we identify who's doing it, you know what happens? The people who we are identifying, like if we say the white man, like somebody in the chat would say, well, I'm a white man and I ain't got nothing to do with that. You're thinking like I'm doing something to you. They always take it personal. So instead of us saying the white man, let's not put no name to it. Let's call it the system. Don't say the white man no more. Y'all got me? So that way we know we can still talk about what happens to us, but we don't have to bait. We don't have to fall into these traps where people are going to say, oh, step your stuff, bring your stuff up by your bootstraps and all of these other things. We can just say something's happening to us. We just don't know who's doing it. And I promise you, the conversation will change. Then more people will listen to us because they're like, okay, you're not blaming me. So let me try to figure out what's happening to you. So if I can help, I will help you. You feel me? It's like a little secret door to, like, you know what I'm saying? Getting the stuff that we need without trying to say, hey, white man, I know you live in my neighborhood and I know you struggle too, but it's your fault that I'm in my situation. That way he won't take it personally. Let's say systematic. Let's keep using that. If they ask you, oh, is the white man? No, it's not the white man. I can't blame him. I got a white neighbor. He's right there. My white neighbor is like me. No, I mean, I'm not being hypothetical. I'm saying my white neighbor is sitting right there. I don't blame him for my situations. Something's happening. I just don't know what it is. And who's doing it? Yo, DC, salute to DC Young Fly, man. He was like, dude, I was like, he stopped that dude that bigot in his track because he was just waiting for DC Young Fly to say, yeah, man, I blame the white man so he can do his normal thing. Oh, you're always blaming the white man. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Look where you are. Look where you're not. Da-da-da-da-da. Black people are better off in slavery than, you know what I'm saying? We can keep all the Kanye Wests and the Cannons always at bay. Don't say it's the white man's fault. Just say something's happening to us more than other people. I just don't know who is doing it. But it's at play, and I can tell you that it's different from other people. And then they might be able to listen to us. Comprende? Y'all good? Tim, welcome to the show. Thank you for saving me from this craziness I'm talking about. What up, man? Oh, my God.
Yo, what up with it, Harry?
Man, I'm good, man. How are you doing today? Thank you for calling.
Hey, I'm doing well, man. I don't have too much time. I just want to touch bases on what you're talking about real quick. And
the white man or Rob Parker?
Rob Parker and
yeah, please take the Rob Parker. Don't take the white man stuff.
Yeah, I'll leave that alone.
Yes, thank God.
But I think he, like you stated, he's all over the place. I feel like he missed, well, I ain't gonna say he missed. I feel like he didn't.
Your audio went. You still there, Tim?
Day.
Tim, repeat that because your audio went.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay. I don't think that he understood exactly what Prime was saying at Media Day.
Right.
Because Deion, all he's saying is, if y'all leave it as it is, and we've been saying this on your show for a while now, but if you leave it as it is, you got teams or you got universities out there that have deep pockets.
Right.
You know, Texas is one of them. They've got deep pockets. I mean, deep pockets. Ohio State. They in the playoffs every year because they got that bag.
Right.
You know, so what Prime is saying is, let's have a desire to go to the NFL. So therefore, we paying them NFL salaries, some of them, that's treated as such. Let's have a salary cap like the NFL teams have. And, you know, now that eliminates guys jumping into the transfer portal every year or wanting to be traded every year, you know, to a new school. So before they started all this crap, who's winning the national championships, which made kids want to go to that school. That's why Alabama dominated for so long. You know, that's why Bama dominated for so long. But now money is involved. Now that money is involved, it's almost like the NCAA got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. They haven't really got a grasp on everything. But like Deion said, and I agree with him 100%, treat it like the NFL. Have a salary cap. Make it an even playing field. And now you'll see who
are they aware that the House passed that bill? Like the House has a cap already. So
what bill are you talking about?
The one that the House passed where you got $20 million cap.
I haven't heard that. I think it's still the same, man.
No, that's the thing now. The House passed the last live that I have had. I talked about it. I did a live, I think last week, if I'm not mistaken. But whatever I just did last time, I did a cap. I did something where I went down on the top issues that were going on, and the House bill was one of those things. The House passed a bill that puts a $20 million cap on universities, and even Rick George said that he's going to spend most of that on the football program. And some other schools have come out and said that they're going to spend most of their money on the football program. So that's already a thing. So I'm wondering, like, what are we? Did I miss it?
I'm not sure, man, because I have to go back and do some research on that. But
oh wait, you haven't heard about the House bill?
No, I haven't heard about the House bill passing to where it's a clean slate. Because if it was that case, then why would Deion make that statement at Media Day?
No, but Deion was not talking about a cap.
Huh?
Deion was. I don't think Deion was specifically talking about a specific cap.
Yes, that's what Deion. If you go back and look at the beginning of his press conference, he talked about that. About making it an even playing field, and they need to put a salary cap and treat it like the NFL.
So this is what I'm hearing, right? From the clip that we just heard, right? I'm hearing Coach Prime, because the cap is already in. The cap is already in. Let me see. The arbitration. Hold on. Yeah, the cap is already in for $20 million per school. So I was thinking, like, okay, if you're either Coach Prime was not aware of the cap, or somebody isn't aware of this cap. It's already happened. The NFL, I mean, the House passed the $20 million cap bill. Yeah, they did.
Go back and look at. I can't see Prime not being aware, but go back and when you have time, look at the press conference when he first came up on the stage.
Okay, I got that queued up though.
And they asked him about it, and I mean, a reporter asked him a question about players, if I'm not mistaken, players getting paid and whatever, and he addressed it, and he was like, treat it like the NFL. They want to be NFL players, so therefore there need to be a salary cap. And he talked about, different schools that have big donors. So he explained that. That's why I say Rob, I don't know what he's talking about.
So I'm reading something here. It says the $20.5 million is a cap, not a floor. Some schools will share less. Schools that opt in will perceive it as a necessary mean. So yes, let me share this so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is a thing. I know I'm not tripping. I'm like, wait, did I miss it? No, I didn't miss it. It's a thing. But you had to have heard about the House settlement.
Okay, so if it's the floor, that means that it's not the ceiling.
No. It's not the floor. It's the cap, but not the floor. So everything you need to know about the NCAA House settlement, right? So in brief, what does the House settlement do? The settlement converts intercollegiate athletics into a system that's much closer to professional sports. The settlement would pay out $2.8 billion in damages over a 10-year period to qualify D1 athletes who played at some point from 2016. It will compensate them for lost NIL, video game, and broadcasting opportunities resulting from past NCAA eligibility rules. You see what I'm saying? This has already happened. Do colleges now have to share revenue with their athletes? No, and most won't. Colleges now have the choice to opt into a system where revenue is shared with athletes. Colleges and power conferences will do so, but most schools won't. Do colleges opt in? Do colleges that opt in have to share $20.5 million with athletes? No. See, so yeah, the House settlement was a $20.5 million cap.
Yeah, so what schools opted in and what schools opted out? You see what I'm saying? I'm listening at I can't really read it, but I'm listening at you talk. It says they have the option to opt in, right? Ain't that what you said?
This is what it says. It says, the colleges that opt in have to share $20.5 million with athletes? So do colleges that opt in, you're right, you have to opt in. It says no. The $20.5 million is a cap, not a floor. Some schools will share less. Got some advertisements here.
Right. So I don't mean to interrupt you or stop you.
Go ahead.
With that being said, if 20 million, I think that's for some of the schools that are less fortunate to those big time donors. That doesn't speak for that 20 million doesn't speak for no Texas A&M. It doesn't speak for the University of Texas. It doesn't. That 20 million don't speak on Alabama or Ohio State, where they have huge donors back to their programs, which is going to well exceed $20 million. So that's why Prime is still saying, make it a even playing field, a bottom line number. So if it's 20 million, that's it. You see?
I mean, but like they said, it's a cap, not the floor. That means that.
But that option to opt in,
right?
That's the key takeaway from it. They don't have to join that solution. I look at that for more of your smaller schools.
Yeah, Unspoken Sports Podcast says, yeah, it was a $20 million cap, but boosters can and alumni can still pay players for NIL stuff. He believes.
Exactly. So now that 20 million can go from 20 million to 50 or 60 million or beyond. So they still have the option to go out and fund, say for instance, I'm just using this as an example. Ohio State go out and get 13 5-star recruits and be able to pay them X amount of dollars for the first year. That which other schools are not able to do that.
So listen to this part. It says, does the House settlement end the NIL collectives? It says no, but it will transform their roles. Collectives have operated as booster groups that are separate from the school, but aligned with athletic department objectives, such as pursuit of coveted recruits. NIL collectives have been criticized for offering athletes what are termed NIL deals, but are essentially pay-for-play arrangements. With colleges now able to pay players directly, collectives will likely shift to marketing and booster activities on behalf of athletes. Collectives can still strike NIL deals with athletes, but deals that exceed $600 will be subject to review by the NIL Go to ensure they reflect fair market value. So there is somewhat of a regulation.
$600 or $600,000?
$600. Not $600,000.
Wow.
This is $600. So the NIL.
Wow,
so the settlement is there so that like students and then they've been talking about. I heard a podcast or some type of interview where they were talking about how the players are going to get this money, and they said that PayPal is going to be the formal payment system where they're going to be able to distribute the money through with the students. I mean, so this is the system that we're talking about. This is the system. Now, obviously, they're going to find a way, a loophole around getting the specific players that they want. So if you
see
remember
do you see how many cracks are in that statement though?
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I agree. You remember the LeBron Jersey gate?
Right.
We're gonna go right back into that because now boosters and others are gonna find new creative ways to get the players that they want into the program when the cap is matched. Right? When you reach
that's what I'm saying.
When you reach that cap, what are you gonna do?
That's what I'm saying, Harry. The boosters, and in that paragraph, it specifically said the boosters with collectors. Everybody that's coming in ain't getting NIL deals. That's very few. But if you got
NIL deals, but everyone is now getting paid. Just so we understand that.
A collective. They use
I'm saying everyone gets paid now. If you are a college athlete, you get paid now.
Exactly.
Yep, you are getting part of that $20 million. You're going to be getting a weekly or monthly payment through PayPal. So you're going to set up a PayPal account, and the university is going to transfer. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to transfer some money into your account. So you will be getting paid monthly now, but they're just going to have to calculate how much you get paid. Now, is it going to be equal payments for everyone, or is it going to be divided based on your scholarship or ranking? Are they going to start ranking the players and say, okay, your ranking is this, so you get this amount? Or are they just going to say, okay, every player gets $1,000 every month? I don't know how they're going to do that because your superstars or your star players, there's no way your star players get the same amount as a bench warmer, right? Go ahead.
But no, like say for instance, Juju Lewis, right? Okay, he chose Colorado, but say for instance, Texas wanted him, and he was tied between Colorado and Texas, but it was a money thing, a money issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was gonna go with the bigger bag, and say for instance Texas, because Texas got more millionaires out of that university than Colorado. So what if one of them say, hey, you know what, we'll give you a $5 million NIL deal. We'll use our business as the NIL deal.
Okay.
So now you eliminate that collective. They still have resources in place to still get all these top-notch caliber players. So because they have more millionaires come out of their school, their university, that own these Fortune 500 companies to just create a NIL deal just to get a player that they want. And that's exactly what Prime is talking about. It's so many loopholes that the bigger schools can go through regardless of that cap of $20 million to still dominate and get the players that they want.
So yeah, but that's the details. That's the part that we're missing. We're not sure exactly what the details are as far as like, okay, what are they going to be able to do? Is this a cap on every university not being able to pay, being able to say, okay, so your budget is $20 million, and if you go over that $20 million, then you are subject to fines. That is what, that's the part that we're looking for. So let's just say it says, okay, let's look at the oversight and enforcement. All right, so let me pull this up so we can look at the enforcements. Because that's
listen, man, I got to jump off.
All right, man. Thank you for coming and calling.
Thank you for having me on, though.
All right, man.
All right.
Okay. So here's some oversight for this. Oversight and enforcement. The College Sports Commission oversees compliance, including salary caps and NIL deal vetting. The NIL Go system, run by D'Eliot, whatever that name is, will review all transactions over $600 to ensure fairness. Violations may impact athletic eligibility. Okay, so what could happen? Legal challenges. It may arise around, let's say, around Title IX discrepancies, athletic employment status, or cap fairness. Federal legislation, like the proposed SCORE Act, may follow to preempt state NIL laws and insulate the settlement framework. The collective bargaining unionization. Debates may intensify if athletes gain increased legal and financial stakes. So, hey, one good thing that's going to come out of this, 2016, if you were in college in 2016 and you were a D1 athlete, you're about to be getting paid. So direct pay for current athletes through the school. They're going to be getting their money. There's going to be limitations for the roster, scholarship flexibilities, and then oversight. So we're getting all of that now. We're getting oversight. There is some type of movement going on. And again, a lot of things, the way I look at it, a lot of things are, you don't really understand or know what's going to happen to a certain thing. What you want to do is you see the current situation, you see the current problem, you put that into perspective, and what do you do next? You say, okay, based on what we're currently looking at, we're going to put this in place. That's the 20.5. Now, we got to now wait to see what comes out of that. How people are going to react to that. We're reactionary. We are reactionary people, okay? We react to whatever happens. We let NIL go free for a little bit. We waited to see what's going to happen. Schools started going haywire. Boosters were paying whatever. What's going to happen next? Now the 20.5 comes. What's next after this 20.5? We're not going to know until we implement this and see what type of limitations the schools are going to have, how they're being able to, how it's affecting recruiting and everything that's going forward. We're going to react to it, but we got to wait to see what happens. The 20.5 is an answer, but we'll see. So that's the cap. Again, it says it's the cap, not the floor. So we'll see where it ends. What's the floor? What's the floor going to be? And what are the litigations that are going to come up? What's going to happen? Are the 2015 guys going to come back and say, I don't know why you're capping it at 2016? I don't know. Something's going to transpire, but we're going to have to wait to see what happens. All right, so let me see what y'all are saying in the chat because I got to get up out of here. Players should follow Shador and Travis Blueprint. Create a podcast or YouTube channel. Get paid through sponsors or donors in addition to AdSense money. That was a little tricky because, yeah, I mean, the thing about doing this is you need the time. You got to put time in. I know you know, if they got money, they're going to hire producers. Somebody's going to write the show, come up with different things. And then I guess in their time off, they're going to sit in their podcast studio, wherever they build it, in their apartments or wherever they're staying, in their hotels. And they can just do the podcast and then send it off to the editor. And the editor can edit it and then is responsible for posting the thing. You know, that's fine, right? Because, I mean, you go play football on Sunday, right? And you practice during the week. And there is time for you to talk to people. And you take 1 hour and do a podcast. I can see where that can happen. But you know, if you're having to start thinking about the numbers and what's going on with the podcast and your producers updating you and stuff like that, is that a distraction? Or some organizations going to see it as a distraction? If you're a player, should you just be focused on playing the game, or should you be focused on the other businesses that you're taking care of? And if it's a podcast, it's work. It's something you got to think about. You know what I'm saying? If you're a businessman, you got to think about what do we need to do? You got to bring on other players. You got to interview them. You know what I'm saying? There may be some conflicts of interest. There's a lot of things that goes into a podcast, but the idea could be fine. I mean, Not every player is capable of doing a podcast. And then we're going to get podcast inundation. People are going to get sick of it. We're going to be like, okay, that's enough. Everybody got a podcast. There's podcasts everywhere. All the players got a podcast. Like, come on, let's try to bring. And then the podcast game is going to get too tired. I'm going to say this. I hope if you're smart enough, instead of jumping into a podcast, I hope you start to study the next wave. I'm starting to think about that because I know that things come in waves. Right now, everybody and their mama are doing podcasts, right? So what is the next thing? Who's already moving forward? Pay attention. Pay very close attention to who's already moving forward. Because the one thing I understand and I know about us as people is that our attention spans are not that, we don't have that, it's not elastic, okay? We get tired of things real quick. Right now, if you look at my thumbnail, there's that baby photo or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you can turn yourself into a cartoon. I don't know how much of that baby looks like me, right? So right now, when people are on Instagram and they're creating baby versions of celebrities and they're making a lot of money, that's not going to last forever. People are starting to get tired of that. You can only laugh at the same thing for so long. So what am I saying? Right now, we're dealing with podcasts. Remember Dream Champs, Joe Buttons, all these other things that the first wave of people who were doing podcasts and people were thinking that was kind of weird. Now, almost every celebrity has a podcast. We're going to get tired of that real soon because the podcast market is going to get saturated. And if you start putting athletes and everyone into these podcast business, and now they're all regurgitating the same kind of, people, because how much can you really interview the same people? If all of y'all got a podcast, let's say the rappers all got a podcast. They're interviewing each other. This podcast interviews Nas. Then Nas has to go to this other podcast. His boy calls like, hey, yo, I got a podcast. Can you come on my show? It's like, you don't want to overly expose your artist. Everybody got a podcast. So what you going to do? Go to every single podcast when it used to be just radio? You do the radio interviews and you do the things, that you do for interview for the media, the real media or whatever, right? But now 1,000 people got a podcast and Radio Row looks like everybody and their mama got a podcast. So what you going to do? You're going to do all of them. Look for what's next. Start looking in places that you wouldn't normally look. The people that know. What are they doing? Start looking for that. If you are a creative person and you know that you want to get into this creative space, start looking at what the next wave is. Now, I ain't saying YouTube and lives and anything like that. That ain't going nowhere anytime soon. But the podcast game is going to end. And I don't know when it's going to end, but it's going to end. And people are going to get tired of it. So start looking for that next wave. Go to Our Show Speed or Cal Connect. Yeah, those dudes are doing streaming. So that's not podcast. So that's streaming. Streaming, you definitely I don't know that streaming is going to go away. I think streaming is going to evolve because a lot of the young streamers, they're literally taking themselves out of the studio or that whatever room they're in and they're streaming and they're setting up their streaming packages and they're going live outside. So they're using these little microphones and these ear sets. So you can hear them like they're right there with the microphone and they're walking around and they're saying, hey, chat, and they're just doing what they do. And that's stream. And you get a lot of money. Like that's the fastest way that if you're starting a YouTube channel and you need viewing hours, those 3,000 viewing hours, that is the fastest way for you to get your hours is to go to live stream. Because if you get like 20 people, 40 people watching, you know what I'm saying? And they're connected with you and they're watching all those hours that you're on, your hours, you'll be like that. It didn't take me long for this channel to get monetized. I think it took me I remember telling y'all, I think it took me 3 months for me to get monetized. So it takes people some years. I got another channel I'm trying to get monetized. It's taking me a long time to do that, but that channel is a whole nother story. Look, man, I had some other content that I wanted to share today. I may have to just do that in a video, and I'll just drop the video as opposed to doing it in a live, because the Big 12 got some situations going on where they got Coach Prime and his bus ranked. So there's other content that I wanted to talk about, and I didn't get the opportunity to talk about it on today's live. So I would do a single video, and I would drop that sometime coming up. I can't tell you when, but I will drop another video. So look out for that video. But I gotta get up out of here. Peter Investor, what up? DC, what up? I hope all is well with all of y'all. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Unspoken Sports Podcast, ICH. Salute, love, and liberty. I hope all is well. BD Hall. Everybody that's in there, PGH, Big Dog, salute to you. Todd Smith, thank you for coming on and sharing your time with me. I appreciate you. All right, man. So I'll see y'all on the next live whenever I pop up. You know what I'm saying? If something happens, because football stuff is starting to happen. So hopefully I will be popping up a little bit more frequently now. But I'm gonna stay in the cut if nothing's happening. I ain't trying to come on here and bore you to death. I want to have something to talk about when I come on here live. You feel what I'm saying? But God bless you, man. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. I'm out. Peace.